Make the fire people ambulance. Oh, your husband's been shot. I can't hear you. Do it the fire police or ambulance. Who do you want to speak to? The fire police or ambulance? Police or ambulance. My husband's just been shot.
A knock at the door, a mysterious envelope, and 3 gunshots that shattered a peaceful Sunday evening in the Scottish Highlands. This is the unsolved murder of Alistair Wilson, a case so bizarre it still baffles detectives 2 decades later. Alistair Wilson was a 30-year-old bank manager, husband and father of 2 young boys. He lived with his wife Veronica and their children in the seaside town of Nairn, a quiet place where violent crime was nearly unheard of. By all accounts, Alistair was a respectable man, no debts, no shady dealings, no known enemies, just a regular family man working at the local Bank of Scotland. On the evening of November 28, 2004, around 7:15 p.m, a man wearing a baseball cap, dark blue jacket and dark jeans knocked on the Wilsons' front door. Veronica answered, and the man asked to speak with Alistair by name. Alistair came to the door and spoke to the man briefly. Then, strangely, he went back inside, holding a blue envelope with the name Paul written on it, but the envelope was empty. Confused, Alistair returned to the door. What happens next still haunts the town. The man pulled a small gun and fired 3 shots, 2 to the head, 1 to the body, and then he vanished into the night. Alistair died later that evening from his injuries. Police quickly launched a full-scale investigation. Hundreds of locals were interviewed. The blue envelope was examined for fingerprints and DNA, but nothing useful turned up. Even more puzzling, the murder weapon. It was an extremely rare small pistol, a Heinl-Zuhl pocket gun, made in Germany in the 1930s. Not your average weapon of choice. Where it came from, no one knows. How it got into the hands of a killer, still a mystery. The gun was missed in the initial police search and was recovered from a nearby drain by a council worker 10 days later. Over the years, several theories emerged. One involved a property planning dispute. Days before his death, Alistair had opposed a proposal to extend the pub next to his home. Some believe this objection angered someone enough to have him silenced, but does that warrant a hit-style execution? Others suspected a case of mistaken identity, but the killer asked for Alistair by name. This was no accident. Some suggested links to organised crime or a secret double life, but police found no evidence of either. In 2022, police reopened the case. They re-interviewed witnesses and refocused on the planning dispute theory. The working theory now: Alistair may have been killed as part of a bizarre retaliation related to that pub extension. Police felt that it was Alistair's involvement in a local planning dispute around a hotel decking area opposite his house was a likely motive. They said that the hotelier was not a suspect, and that the killers were likely customers or builders involved in the construction of the decking. In 2023, police announced that they believed that 2 people had carried out the shooting, and that one of them was likely a local they have identified who has spent time in prison for drug offences. But if true, why the envelope? Why such a rare gun? And why no trace of the killer? Police continue to urge the public for information, especially anyone who might have handled or owned a Heinl-Zuhl pistol. Detectives investigating the unsolved case had been set to arrest a suspect on May 15, 2023, which was hoped could lead to a breakthrough. It was, however, halted at the last minute, with Alistair's family only finding out after they contacted a liaison officer for an update. Detective Chief Superintendent Paul Livingston then went on to deny being aware that a date had been identified for an arrest, which prompted an official complaint by the family. which was upheld, and Livingston was found guilty of misconduct. Last year, a re-investigation of Alistair's murder was ordered after more than 150 concerns were highlighted in a review of the evidence gathered in the police inquiry. Over 20 years have passed, and Alistair's killer remains unknown. A father, a husband, gunned down at his own front door. What message was hidden in the blank envelope, and who wanted him dead in such a calculated, cold-blooded way? Until answers emerge, the town of Nairn is left with whispers. One burning question: who killed Alistair Wilson?